as someone who's not a part of the Radhaswami culture as of yet, and have been non-veg and have drank before, if I were ever vowed into the Radhaswami culture, I was wondering if those sins would ever be forgiven, and because we're all human.
Beta, first and foremost, I don't think so. Any person, any philosophy, any religion can forgive you your sins. The law of nature is as you sow, so shall you reap. So, whatever your actions are, there's going to be a reaction to that and there's going to be a consequence. That we have to go through. Nobody can take your karmas, nobody can give you their karmas. Now, yes, if we try to stay in His will, He will give us the strength to be able to go through all those karmas without losing our balance. But to say that anybody can forgive you your actions, it never works like that. We have to take responsibility for our actions and we have to face the consequences. We just need to strengthen ourselves that the blow of a hammer is reduced to a pinprick. That is what it is. Now, when you talk about the Radhaswami philosophy, beta, this is nothing new. This is just a collection, basically we call it Santmat, which means Santanda Mat, the thought process of the saints, not saint, saints. So if you see when quotes are taken or when satsang is done, it's from all the religions. So this is a way of life. This is not a separate religion. The idea of following a spiritual path is to understand the true essence of spirituality, to help you to learn what it means to be a good Hindu, a good Sikh, a good Muslim, a good Christian, in essence, a good human being. You don't have to leave your religion. You don't have to leave anything. All you have to do is keep a balance in your life, be a good human being, and work towards creating a relationship with the Lord and be grateful to Him.
Radhaswami Babaji, thank you for giving me this opportunity. My question is, sometimes we run into these situations, like a really hard and tough situations where you have to make a decision, but sometimes there's no right or wrong, right? You have to make a decision and you have to face the consequences. And in this process, you sometimes, hurt your close ones. And after you make the decision and you really regret, probably I shouldn't have done this. What's the best way to deal with these situations?
Life is all about making choices. One man's food can be another man's poison. There's a certain medicine which can suit you and the other person can react to it. So you can't generalize on these things. Truth is very relative, beta. It's how you perceive things. So from our side, we should do the right thing. Now, whatever you do, some people are going to be happy with it, some people are not going to be happy with it. That's part of this world, beta. You can't help that. But you do the right thing. If you do the right thing, you are finishing your karma, beta.
My question is, sometimes I'm a support worker and I lose my patience. And I know that all the days are not same. Sometimes I'm calm, sometimes I have anger in my own means get angry, but I don't know how to cope up with that.
I agree with you, beta. There's so much burden on us, and in that frustration, sometimes we lose our cool. But at the same time, we must remember what we can do with love and understanding. It will never be done by being angry with anybody. So let's learn. I agree that sometimes we lose, but then slowly try and make up for it. And try and see, why did I get angry? No, it's not the fault of the other person. If our lives are like that, it's not because of that person whom we are losing our cool on. Why should he suffer the consequences? So we have to learn to get in control of ourselves. Better if you are in control of yourself now, you can do anything. But if you give that control to somebody else, फिर तो मोहताज हो जाएंगे ना.
You're right. Absolutely.
Swami Babaji, with your grace, I've been blessed with everything that a disciple would need to progress on the spiritual path, and at a very early age. But when you're on the path, you're progressing. The lower mind becomes quite active and starts to desire things of the world, and you give in and you ask the master for those things. And master is so compassionate, so generous. He gives you that too. And soon you realize that what a bad trade-off you have made. Because earlier, when it's just you, me, and the love, you're the richest of the world. But on the contrary, when you have everything of the world and the love and the virya is missing, you're the pauper. You're the poorest of all. Now I can beg all day, but I'm missing that love.
Beta, you talked about the lower mind. Kabir Sahib di Bani hai, Kabir मन तो एक है, भावें जहां लगाए, भावें गुर की भक्ति कर, भावें विषय कमाए. So it's not that there are two minds, one which takes you downward and outward, and the other one which takes you towards the Lord. There's only one mind. Now, if you have become a slave to the mind, then it's going to take the easy way out. But if we have the mind in our control, it's that same mind which is going to channelize you towards the Lord. And we sometimes see things from a very different perspective. There's a beautiful story of Akbar that once while hunting, he got separated from his people. And he was in the forest, he was feeling hungry. He saw a small hut. He went there, a poor chap, and he said, "Do you have food?" Now there were 5-6 people, and between them they had one roti. So they broke a part of the roti and gave it to him. And he felt very humbled that, they don't hardly have anything, but still they are willing to share. So he leaves his ring with that person and says, "If any time you need anything, you come and ask me. I'm Emperor Akbar." Famine took place, family forced that chap. So one day he goes to the emperor with that ring. Everybody lets him pass showing the ring. And what does he see? He says, Emperor Akbar is in his ibadat and he's asking Khuda, okay, my granary is empty, my coffers are empty, and I need your help. And he turns back. Emperor gets up and he says, "Good man, what do you want?" He said, "I made a mistake." He said, "Menu to do waqt di roti chahiਦੀ hai, thonu to sari duniya vaste chahida hai. So who's a bigger beggar?" So beta, Lord has given each one of us sufficient for our requirement. We need to appreciate that and to cherish it. We just want more and more without having the ability to handle it. So if we just learn to appreciate what He's given us now, that's more than sufficient for our life, beta.
Thank you so much for this incredible opportunity. My first question is, would it be harder for people to progress spiritually if they are like very calculative in nature? Like I am a very calculative person. I think about
Beta, if you calculate, you will only get as much as you've done. And what we are seeking is much more than that, beta.
yeah.
So why would I calculate?
No, it's just like everything.
If I am limited and I start calculating, I will always fall short. But if I stay in His will and do what He wants me to do, then it's His responsibility. Isn't it?
Yes. I'll just go one more question. If we start meditating on regular basis, would we become better person, like less self-centered and more accepting of people and our own shortcomings, even when we haven't achieved that highest level?
The purpose of beta meditation is to come to terms with yourself. Self-realization before God realization. How can I realize the God if I haven't realized myself? Isn't this the vessel through which I'm functioning?
Yes.
So first I have to see my own strengths and weaknesses, na? And once I realize my strengths, I can use that to overcome my weaknesses. But if I'm groping in the darkness, what am I going to achieve?
Yes. Thank you. Rasamaji.
Radha Swami Babaji, may I, subtle body in this physical body, have come to you for the liberation. So please guide me and bless me.
Bhai Sahib, spirituality cannot be taught and spirituality cannot be learned. Spirituality has to be experienced. So when the Lord gave us human birth, He has given us that capability and capacity to attain our goal. And we have to do that through the meditative process. Because whatever He has to give us, He's given us. Now we have to realize it. So spirituality is a realization. So we will get the consequences of our own action. The Master is only there to create an environment and to guide us. So unless we don't take our action, we can't ask for it. We have to reflect it in our actions and realize it from within ourselves.
I am practicing meditation for the last 10 years. After listening to you, Master, that I should spend 10% of my time, which I am practicing meditation, and I am practicing meditation on the heart. So further guidance, please.
You know, the consciousness has to go upward. All we can do is Simran. You know, everything else will be a natural consequence of that. So let's start our Simran and try and attach ourselves to the Shabad. Shabad karam ki rekh kataye, Shabad Shabad se jai milaye.
Ji.
Babaji, my question is that as children of our parents, we always want to make them proud and they want to see us achieve. But in that process, sometimes we make mistakes or things happen and we lose that relationship and trust with them. So how do we rebuild that trust and bond and relationship with them? And how can they understand our story and how can we understand their story?
Communication, beta, communication. See, parents always want the best for us. They're not our enemies. However, their experience of life has been different. Times now are different. So probably our experience is going to be different. But we need to find a common meeting ground. We have to learn. We must listen to them and learn a little bit from their experience. But should they make the choices for our life? No. We have to make those choices because we have to go through the consequences. That is why we call it a generation gap. Now, if there's a good communication, beta, nothing can ever go wrong. Learn to be able to talk to your parents. Learn to discuss. You will never have to face adversity. It's when communications stop, problems start.
Radha Swami Babaji, my mom passed away in November. She was initiated by Maharaj Charan Singh Ji. She died a very painful death. I just want to know, is she in Sachkhand?
Beta, what happens is, first and foremost, we shouldn't sort of analyze these things, you know. If there is some karam of that person to be finished, at the time of death, you know, the Lord makes us go through certain pain so that we don't have to return. So we are not seeing the life and the consequences, we are just seeing those momentary things which are happening in front of us. So we should have faith, beta. If the Lord has taken responsibility, He will see it through.
May I ask you another question? Will my soul be able to recognize her soul?
Beta, it is the physical that recognizes the physical. When we talk about the soul, beta, soul is part and particle of the Lord. So at a lower level of consciousness, we see ourselves as separated. You stand out, you can see the sun. On the lower ground, you see thousands and millions of different rays of light. The sun can exist without the ray of light. The ray of light can't exist without the sun. So when the soul leaves the body, it goes and merges back into the ocean. Now, since we are still in the physical, we are holding on to these identities. So when you leave the body, as the soul, you have no identity, which is separate. So where is the question of recognition?
Thank you, Babaji. Can you please send lots of love and strength to my family, especially my dad?
Babaji, what is Santmat's take on abortion? Is it ever justified? If it is, in what circumstances?
Beta, these are personal decisions we take. Now, it is as important to look at the situation as the action you are taking, beta. Two wrongs don't make a right, do they? So, I'm not going to get into it, the right and wrong part of it. I would only say that life is a very, very important aspect of this creation. And we should learn to cherish it.
Thank you.
I'm really confused with one thing. You often talk about like attachment leads to detachment. But when a child is born, he's attached to the mother. And mother cannot love a child without getting attached. And the more and more we get attached in this world, we get mixed with expectations, we get hurt, and we actually forget that we have to develop the love with you. So how to develop a balance and how to know how much we have to get attached and love the world, fulfilling our responsibilities.
But the idea is not to go to extremes. And this is not something you can practice better. So we have to have a positive way to move forward. Okay? So in the world also, as we move on, things we were attached to in a younger life, they start falling backwards and we start going forward. When you go to extremes, anything in life taken to extreme becomes negative. Even love. If a mother loves her child so much that she becomes so possessive of him, she won't let him out of her sight, reaction will take place. Child will want his or her space. Right? So everything within a balance is good. The moment you go beyond that balance, it starts becoming negative. Keep a balance, beta. Should we love our parents? Yes. Should we love our spouses? Yes. Should we love our siblings? Yes. But not take it to an extreme.